The last video we have seen what is production planning and control, and the definition and an overview of the production planning and control was given. So in this lecture, we will discuss in detail about production planning and control and what are the different steps in production planning and control. So Gordon and Carson observed that the production planning and control involve planning of routing, scheduling, dispatching, inspection, and coordination. Let us see each one in detail. So what do you mean by routing? So routing is the first step in production planning and control. So it is defined as the process of deciding the path of work and sequence of operation. So that means in a machine shop, we have seen that the material moves in a particular path. It depends upon the process layout, etc. and the based on the sequence of operation. So routing is mainly concerned with fixing the sequence of operations that is done on the raw materials to get the final product, and also to define the correct route. Okay, that is the movement of materials. Okay, so these are the main two functions of routing, and routing fixes in advance the quantity and quality of the product. Okay, at what quality you need? Should it be a high quality, moderate, or low quality? And also, what is the amount, quantity required to be produced? Based upon this only, it will fix the sequence of operation, etc. And also, it will allocate the manpower, machines, and materials to be used in the routing operation. And also it will fix the type, number, and the sequence of manufacturing operations, and also the place of production. So these are the important jobs done in routing. So basically, routing determines what to produce, how much to produce, and with which machines, and how to produce it. Determines the type of operations and the sequence of operations, and also determine where to produce it. So the main objective of routing is to determine the best and cheapest sequence of operation, and to ensure that this sequence is followed in the factory. So it is mainly concerned with the sequence of operation and the flow path. So it will fix the sequence of operate such that it incurs the minimum cost. So next step in production planning and control is the loading. So it determines the quantity of work. So that means it will allocate the quantity of work to the processes necessary to manufacture each item. And this process is called loading. That means we are allocating the quantity of work to the various processes, and the assignment of work to the operators to the machines and workplaces also. So for example, for each workstation you have different operators, and we need to allocate the work that need to be done by each operator and the machine. That will be determined by loading. So it basically determines who will do the work and which machine will carry out the work. So one common tool used for loading is Gantt charts, are commonly used in small industries in order to determine the existing load and also to foresee how fast a job can be done. Okay, so next step in production planning and control, or it is the last phase of production planning, that is scheduling. So this is the last of the planning function. So it determines when an operation is to be performed, or when should the work be completed. So there may be different machines, and it will decide when that operation should be carried out in that machine, and also when should this particular work to be completed. Okay, it will determine the date, and details of the schedule may specify the starting and finishing time of an operation. Okay, so we have several operations. Sometimes after manufacturing several parts, it may be assembled together. It will be assembled together. So it will determine when should you start this operation and when should you finish this operation. Sometimes this will be started later. Okay, like that. So it will determine the various the time of various processes. So basically this is the timetable of production. So next step in production planning and control, this is mainly the part of the control operation, that is dispatching. So it is a release of orders and instructions for starting and production of an item as per the route sheet and schedule chart. Okay, for example, you have several parts that need to be manufactured and finally assembled together to get the final product. So this dispatching will release the order and instruction for starting a particular product. Maybe this will be started earlier and this will be started later, etc. So it will be determined as per the route sheet and schedule chart. It will release the orders and instructions. So the starting the process of production means the movement of materials to different workstations. So dispatching releases the orders to transfer the material to this particular workstation at a particular time. Okay, and movement of tools and fixtures necessary for this workstation requires these tools and fixtures. So it will release the order to move the tools and fixtures also, and it will release the order to start the work on each operation, and also it will record the time and cost involved in each operation, and then movement of work from one operation to another in accordance with the route sheet. Okay, so these all comes under dispatching. And dispatching is an important step as it translates production plans to production. So this is basically the first step in controlling. Then you have the follow-up, that is inspection and correction. So this operation basically deals with checking the manufacturing activities are systematically carried out according to the plan. So it will determine the progress of the work, and it will try to remove the bottlenecks in the flow of work. So that means in a process, during a manufacturing process, there may be bottlenecks, though that bottlenecks need to be removed. Okay, that bottlenecks need to be removed, and the operation should be streamlined to make the manufacturing process smoother. Ensuring that the productive operations are taking place in accordance with the plan. So according to the Gantt chart and other various scheduled plans, you have a time frame in which a production need to be carried out. So this inspection and correction operation keeps track of the time and reports if there is any delay or any hindrance to that operation. So inspecting or supervision of work helps to reveal defects in routing and schedule, misunderstanding of orders and instruction, underloading and overloading of work. So this helps to bring out these problems, that is the misunderstanding of orders and overloading of work. Sometimes that machine cannot carry out that job in the prescribed time period, then we need to find an alternative or install another machine like that. So there will be several problems. It will keep track of the problems, and remedial action need to be initiated based on that report. So then you have the corrective action need to be taken to correct that. Then you need to adjust the route, and sometimes you need to reschedule the work, and you need to change the workloads allotted to different machines and operators also, and repairs and maintenance of machinery also need to be carried out. And it will have a control over the inventories, and it will keep track of the performance of the employees. If the employee is not performing smoothly, then remedial action need to be taken. And it will also take some personal decisions like training, transfer, demotion, etc. based upon the performance of the employees. So what is the benefit of production planning and control? It helps in the optimum utilization of the capacity. and it will help in inventory control. That means how much quantity need to be stored, how much raw materials needs to be stored, how much should be produced and stored, etc. And you have an improved organization for regular and timely delivery, and better supplier communication for raw material procurement, and reduced production cost by increasing efficiency. So this is one added benefit, because we are making optimum utilization of all the resources, etc. So we make the optimal utilization of main materials and other resources. It will ensure smooth flow of production process and reduced wastage of resources, and also help in production cost savings. So these are the benefits of production planning and control. And its role in manufacturing industry is to ensure that the materials and equipment are available when needed and that everything runs smoothly.